To begin with, we are very grateful that two ministers were amenable to giving the keynote addresses. In the morning, we heard the keynote address of Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Hajah Nancy Shukri, where she rightly emphasized the importance of establishing a professionalized care sector, one that is accessible to all Malaysians. This is an imperative of national importance as the people age and as the need for care increases. So here I have to add a slight caveat, as T.S. Eliot reminds us, between the ideal and the reality falls that shadow. And I think it is conferences like this and with the help of all of you experts and participants that we are able to get out of the shadow into the light. So in the afternoon, we heard from Yang Berhormat Nik Ahmad. His keynote addressed the dichotomy between economic imperatives and that of our environment, biodiversity, and planet. Moving forward, it is evident that a business-as-usual situation will not suffice, and changes must be made across the board. Meanwhile, the 4 sessions we had throughout the day deliberated on 4 major matters of strategic national importance: food security, the care economy, the semiconductor industry, and the need for a nature-positive economy. Mind you, and each and every one of these could stand alone as a major conference by itself. The first panel on food security addressed a pivotal issue, and that is the food that we have on our tables. Then the panel shared how we must be viewing food security through a multi-dimensional lens to account for its complexity. Further, the panel suggested how we should be moving away from the just-in-time towards a just-in-case mindset, elucidating the importance of self-reliance over trade dependence. I think here a point was made by Dr. Darrell on the need to be a bit skeptical, shall we say, not necessarily hypercritical about sound bites and grandstanding by certain personalities, without having to name names, of course. Yep. The conversation on the care economy was resumed in the second panel, where the panelists furthered the care agenda in outlining the gravity of the situation we are in. The panelists highlighted the threefold challenge of an aging population, declining fertility rates, and women continuing to shoulder the burden of care responsibilities. Addressing these multifaceted challenges requires care to be looked at as a public good and to ensure affordability, accessibility, and quality. Moving forward will warrant a whole-of-economy approach alongside greater data openness, a mindset shift, of course, and the professionalization of care work. This includes the development of a well-defined care economy and the extension of social protection coverage. The third panel pivoted from the care economy to the semiconductor industry. To begin, the panel articulated the importance of semiconductors in daily life, enabling a greater technology adoption to solve challenges in food security, care economy, and of course the environment. In growing our semiconductor industry, the panel put forward the overarching need to maintain our talents, especially against brain drain or the gig economy. Meanwhile, regionalization can shift the paradigm from regional competition to regional collaboration, allowing Southeast Asia to become a vertically integrated market. In the fourth and final panel on the nature-positive economy, the question, among others, centered on how best we can balance economic development with the preservation of nature and biodiversity. To truly unlock potential here, the panel highlighted the importance of overcoming the federal-state jurisdictional divide. This should no longer be a barrier in our economy, in our journey towards a more sustainable development. I might just want to add, when it comes to federal-state jurisdictional divide is a whole lot more than that. And right now, it's staring in our face. I was just having a side discussion with Nick Nazmi just now about the issue of critical minerals, especially, for example, in relation to rare earth. How the overarching importance of economic imperatives will trump over the issue of sustainability in the end. I think that's a great challenge that we will have to face. I might want to share with you that ISIS is in the process of trying to focus particular attention across the board to take it to a federal level, this issue concerning federal-state jurisdictional divide. Beyond that, private sector innovation and capacity must also be harnessed. Investments into sustainable environmental projects, leveraging on carbon markets and aligning market interests are all potential solutions that we must be considering. Lastly, we must remember that conservation projects are not just about achieving environment and climate outcomes, but maximizing co-benefits, value creation, and ensuring rights to local and indigenous communities. I think in this regard, I thought the expression conservation is investing in intangible goods. I thought that's both broadly encompassing and I think deeply profound. So at this juncture, let us not forget that these conversations will not end here. As I mentioned at the outset of this conference, my colleagues will be compiling the thoughts, analyses, and suggestions shared over the course of today. This compilation will inform the policy briefs that we will be publishing in the upcoming months. Rest assured that while these briefs will be delivered to the highest level of government, we will also be making them publicly available via our website. As we bring the PRAXIS 2023 conference to an end, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks once again to both Datuk Sri Hajah Nancy Shukri and Tuan Nick Nazmi and the speakers and moderators. To our partners, Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, Felda Global Ventures and the Asia Foundation, thank you once again. Lastly, I would like to express my thanks to my colleagues at ISIS Malaysia who have worked tirelessly to ensure the successful organization of today's conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Faiz, for delivering the closing remarks.